I seen a post today by one of my boys that he had reposted something, and it goes a little like this. 2017 was a practice. 2018 was a practice. 2019 was a practice. 2020 was a practice. 2021 was a practice. 2022 was a practice. 2023 was a practice. 2024 was a practice. And 2025, I understand now. I mean, shit. Okay, I didn't start in this game in 2017, but I got in this game 2020, so it's going on 5 years in 2025, which is in 10 days, 10 or 11 days, wherever it is. And shit, like, it was practice leading up to where it is now, where it's like I understand now a lot of everything that I went through in terms of entrepreneurship, growing as a man, as an individual, learning more about myself spiritually, mentally, financially. It was all a practice to show me what's bigger and what's to come going into 2025. And of course, even leading up into getting into the entrepreneurship world, you know, it was a lot that I went through then. It took me 20 plus, no, not 22, 20 plus. It took me, I always say 22 because I'm 22. It took me 20 plus jobs, 20 plus 9 to 5s to really figure out, okay, this was not the life that I wanted to live. God put me through 20 plus jobs for me to see that. So be it, right? That was the reality of that. And now God has shown me the route and the path as far as entrepreneurship and what it has brought me and what I've seen and the money that I've made and the life that I've lived. This is what he showed me leading up to where I am now. But of course, getting here, there's a lot of different things that I had to experience. Financially, for sure. Mentally, for sure. Spiritually, for sure. You know, a lot of those different things that I neglected leading up to now, right? And everything that throughout that journey from 2020 to 2025, which is next year, well, in a couple of days, I mean, couple of weeks or whatever you want to call it, there's a lot of shit that I've learned mentally. And everything that I've looked back on that I've done, you know, rather, like I said, mentally, spiritually, financially, physically, no regrets. No fucking regrets. Why is that? It's simply because I think everything literally happens for a reason. I don't sit around wishing that things could have been different, because why would I wish if things could have been different? If, like, the reality, if I wish things could have been different, I wouldn't be here. I needed to go exactly what I went through to be where I am today for me to have a realization in terms of how far I've came. And sometimes you can get really caught up in not really wanting to look back and say, like, damn, I've done this, I've done that. I think as an entrepreneur, as an individual, as a man, sometimes I look and say I've not done shit, and that's the reality. And maybe, you know, they say give yourself grace, you know, don't be hard on yourself, but because I know there's so much more there. But I am glad that I got a lot of that shit out of my system. I'm glad that I went broke more than I can fucking count. I'm glad that I failed more than I can count. I'm glad it took me 20 plus jobs to get to where I am. I'm glad that I had a ton of failed drop shipping stores before I had my first big one. I'm glad I got my first 100K and blew it. I'm glad. Like, I'm glad that all that happened. I really am, because it allowed me to get that shit out of my system now. Whereas then I have a family a couple years, 10 years, not a couple years, 10 years down the line, and I'm doing the same shit I was doing back in 2024. Absolutely fucking not. So with that all being said, I'm so glad that I went through everything that I went through, because now leading up to 2025, I have a clear picture in terms of everything that I've learned getting up here. 2025 is my graduation year as far as college, where I would have been graduating. A lot of people that are watching this probably have the class of 2025 and just now graduating. Now it's like, okay, shit, I'm entering the real world. What the fuck am I about to do now? And to everyone that is in that position, I mean, it's up to you. What do? You know, you had 4 years to kind of go to college and figure it out. Now it's the reality of it. You know, I had 4 years to figure this shit out on my own, where I didn't go that traditional route. But throughout all that, I've gained and learned so much experience. I've gained a ton of wisdom. I've learned so much more about myself, more than I could ever imagine. But it was practice. It's what God had. It was God put me through to get to where I am now. But now I understand it. And that's kind of why I'm shooting this video, because I love the fucking journey. I really do. Like, it's a feeling where sometimes it's hard to fathom. And I say that because there's so many different things that move into your head at a fast pace, different ideas, you know, this and that and this, you know, being a student of the game, consuming, not consuming, thinking about this, thinking about that. And on average, I don't think a human mind moves as quick as entrepreneurs' minds move, right? Because there's always this unwavering feeling of knowing, like, what can I do next? What can I do more of? Versus an average person is like, oh, I'm just going to do this and just be settled with that. No. And then also, of course, the mentality and the mental that you build, the mental capacity that you build, you know, being 22 and fucking up my money more than I can fucking count. It's like, I look good and I laugh. I'm just like, ugh. But like, it's stupid of me to do that because I'm conscious of it. But now I've learned. I can't be mad at myself. Like, I've done it. I spent the money back and forth. I went broke more. I didn't count, but I've learned. It led me to where I am now, where I can, you know, live the life that I do live. But I've learned leading up to this, and I'm not upset about it. Why? Because God is part of God's plan. Like I said, I don't question it. I can get hit by a car today, and I mean, God is a part of God's plan. God forbid that happens, but you get it, right? The reality of it is, when I walk by faith, I walk through with Him. I just don't second guess it all. I don't second guess it. Like, when I walk with God, I don't second guess anything that happens in my life. I can't think of anything negatively in my life because there's a reason behind it. I think there's a reason behind everything I do in this world. And the last thing that I ever do is sit back and question myself and point my finger on why me? No, never. Why? It's my life. This is my life. This is the way it's supposed to be lived. You know, it's already been written. I've picked up the pen and I've started to write. And throughout this, me writing my story, sometimes my ink runs out. Sometimes the pen breaks. Sometimes I stop writing. No, I never stop writing. That's the thing. I never stop writing. Sometimes the pen can break, the ink runs out, the paper gets full, but I never stop writing. And that's the reality of this game, and that's the reality of life, right? But most stop. Not me. I can't do it, won't do it. Can't do it, won't do it. But yeah, like I said, I can smile through all this because negativity doesn't ever cross my mind, good or bad, in my life. And there's no such thing as bad to me in my life. Never. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm insane. But the reality of it is, I've trained my mind to just realize it's always going to be a part of it all. It's a part of this game. It's a part of it. But hope you guys like this video. We got the quality back up. We chilling, we vibing. And yeah, I really hope 2025 is a year of realization for a lot of you guys as well. Definitely for me, right? Leading up to this, 5 years in the game. Shit, man. 5 years into the game of entrepreneurship. Fuck. Love every fucking bit of it. Big or small, high or low. Shit, more than my lows, I love more than my highs. And you can say it's crazy. I love my lows more than my highs sometimes because you don't get a lot of highs. But throughout those lows, you figure out once you get that high, it's back to work. So, see you guys in the next one. Going into the new year. We're with these every single day, so see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.